The day I stepped into his office, I had no idea how drastically my life was about to change. As I crossed the threshold, I was taken aback by the unexpected intensity of the situation. In that moment, I realized that the choices I made would define the trajectory of my career. I know that many people won't understand the decisions I've made, but I'm past the point of caring. My name is Beatrice. Just last month, I celebrated my 30th birthday. I've been married to Carlos for 5 years, and while he's 38, our connection has always been strong. We met before I completed nursing school, and I can honestly say that without his unwavering support, I would never have graduated, much less secured a respectable job. I still vividly remember how he paid my tuition every single month. Today, we live in a small town where I work as the head nurse at the local hospital. Carlos earns his living as a music teacher, giving lessons both online and in person. When I secured the nursing position at this hospital, our lives changed drastically. Since I graduated and got the job at the municipal hospital, I've been the breadwinner. This financial shift was significant for us, but it made my husband very uncomfortable. He had always wanted to be the main provider for our home, and now, with his classes not going well, he feels even more unsettled. Men often struggle when their wives become the primary earners, and my husband is no exception. I can see how it affects him. He always aspired to be the main provider, and now, with my success and position at the hospital, he feels diminished. He sometimes becomes jealous when I purchase more expensive and provocative clothes, even though I buy them with my own money. It clearly bothers him, especially since he sees these purchases as unnecessary expenses. I can see the jealousy in his eyes when he watches me dress up. To reach where I am in my career, I had to make many sacrifices and difficult decisions, some of which I regret. These choices weigh heavily on my conscience, but I know they were necessary to achieve the stability we now enjoy. Dr. Lucas was different, though. Over time, his compliments and attention began to win me over, but I always kept my distance. Dr. Lucas was practically the owner of the hospital, with a lot of influence and respect from everyone. It was hard not to be attracted to him. He didn't just flatter me. He had a strong, confident presence that drew me in more and more. One day, during a regular workday, I received a message from Dr. Lucas asking me to come to his office on the top floor. I went, nervous and unsure of what to expect. When I arrived, he confessed his feelings for me, assuring me that he didn't want to be disrespectful, but he had strong feelings for me. He promised he could change my life at the hospital, helping me advance in my career if I agreed to provide some extra services for him. His proposal was direct and clear, and though I knew it was wrong, the chance to improve my professional standing was very tempting. He assured me that I wouldn't have to worry about anything. He would take care of everything, promoting me and smoothing my path in the hospital. At first, I thought he was joking. Dr. Lucas was always playful and familiar with me. But as the conversation continued, I realized he was serious. His tone and the way he looked at me made it clear that this was a genuine offer. He explained that he wanted an intimate relationship with me, and that if I agreed to be his mistress, he would promote me and improve my conditions at the hospital. The offer was clear: a promotion and other benefits in exchange for a personal relationship with him. He emphasized that his power and influence could open many doors for me within the institution. Dr. Lucas isn't unattractive or old. In fact, he's quite handsome, wealthy, and takes good care of himself. He's the type of man who naturally attracts attention, which only added to the complexity of the situation. My career was on the line, and I had fought hard to get into that hospital. Losing this opportunity would have been a huge disappointment, so I decided to accept his proposal, but imposed a clear condition. The relationship would be a one-time affair with no ongoing commitments or expectations of anything deeper. In return, he would promote me to the head nurse position, something I had long aspired to and which could change my professional life. Dr. Lucas agreed to my terms, and the deal was sealed. Once the agreement was made, I wasted no time. I approached Dr. Lucas, and with a mix of anticipation and nerves, made it clear that I was ready for our encounter. In seconds, he kissed me. A slow, lingering kiss that intensified the heat in the room. We couldn't hold back and ended up doing what we had planned right there on his office desk. It was delightful, and Dr. Lucas's readiness surprised me. He had an energy and presence I didn't expect, making the encounter intense. The size of his tool impressed me, and to be honest, I enjoyed the experience so much that under different circumstances, I might have considered repeating it. But I knew I needed to stick to our agreement. After that encounter, I was firm in asking Dr. Lucas to fulfill his part of the deal. He was completely willing, and the next day, I was already wearing a new uniform and had been promoted to head nurse. The change was swift and noticeable, and I was thrilled with the new position. When Dr. Lucas saw me in my new uniform, he didn't hesitate to compliment me, saying the position suited me perfectly. His praise and excitement made me feel like all the effort had been worthwhile. His approval and support were significant and, in a way, comforting. That same day, I returned to his office to express my gratitude. I thanked him deeply and sincerely, and to seal my thanks, we ended up making love again in his office. He did everything he wanted with me. It was wild. While we were together, he looked into my eyes and told me he was falling in love with me. My husband is always curious about how I got promoted so quickly. He often asks about it, wondering how it all happened so fast. I've noticed that he goes through my phone at night, trying to find something that might explain the sudden change. But I'm not foolish. I don't bring my affairs home. I keep my personal life separate from what happens at the hospital and make sure he doesn't find anything that might raise his suspicions. My focus is on maintaining discretion and protecting what I've achieved without leaving any traces that could reveal what really happened. Other nurses gossip about how I've been with all the doctors, generating quite a bit of envy. They can't understand how I rose through the ranks so quickly and speculate about my personal life. The truth is, besides the effort I've put in, I have the support and protection of Dr. Lucas, who ensured my promotion was swift and efficient. This only fuels the rumors and envy in the hospital. I'm struggling to keep the agreement as I should. I'm visiting Dr. Lucas almost every day, not just to thank him, but because I feel addicted to the sense of power and the thrill our relationship provides. With each visit, the feeling of being out of control and the pleasure of our secrecy only heightens my adrenaline. Dr. Lucas is a charming man, and our secret relationship has become an addiction that feeds my need to feel in control. Even though I sometimes feel guilty about what I'm doing, I know I'm taking a big risk. But at the same time, I feel it's a way to ensure that my position at the hospital remains secure. My relationship with my husband is slowly deteriorating. He senses that something has changed in me, but can't pinpoint exactly what it is. We're fighting more, and he's more insecure than ever. He's even hinted that I might be interested in someone else, but I always deny it and say that I'm just focused on my work. However, this tension at home makes me question how far I can take this situation without everything falling apart. My rise at the hospital hasn't gone unnoticed by my colleagues, and the gossip is increasing. I try to stay away from the conversations and focus on my work, but it's hard to ignore the glances and nasty comments. Despite this, my position of power and the security I feel knowing that Dr. Lucas is on my side give me the confidence I need to continue. I know I'm playing with fire, but I'm willing to go all the way to protect what I've achieved. I've thought about stopping everything and going back to normal, but every time I tell myself that, something pulls me back into this intense relationship with Dr. Lucas. The advantages I've gained make me comfortable, yet at the same time scared. I don't know how much longer I can maintain this double life, but for now I'm determined to make the most of what the situation offers me. However, I know that eventually I'll have to choose between my career and my conscience, and I fear the day when that decision will become inevitable.